Let's get into it. The media right now, look, let's be clear. I'm not saying Paige Bueckers and Angel Reese are the same kind of player. That's not the point here. Paige Bueckers is, without question, the better player, but the way the media is handling this, they're so obsessed with trying to tear down Caitlin Clark that they're actually doing Paige Bueckers a disservice. This kind of coverage puts unnecessary pressure on Bueckers, and it's just not grounded in reality. The narrative keeps shifting. The so-called rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark? Analysts are already calling that dead. It never really made sense anyway, since they don't even play the same position and hardly ever guarded each other. Now, with Bueckers entering the league as the #1 pick for Dallas, the media is desperate to manufacture a new rivalry, this time between Bueckers and Clark, since they actually share a position and similar accolades. But here's the thing, the hype and comparisons are getting out of control. Paige Bueckers herself has said the media is the one obsessed with these comparisons, not the players. Statistically and culturally, Caitlin Clark's impact is on another level. She broke records, dragged her team to the playoffs, and became the face of women's basketball in her rookie season. Bueckers has her own impressive resume, but the bar set by Clark is sky high, and it's unfair to pit them against each other just for headlines. So let's dig in. The media needs to step back and let these athletes define their own legacies, instead of forcing narratives that don't reflect the reality on the court. Paige Bueckers taking flight from Minnesota to Dallas Wings. So Paige Bueckers flying out of Minnesota to join the Dallas Wings, huh? Yeah, alright. First off, I'd already reworked that headline. Because let's be real, she bailed on Minnesota. Unlike Caitlin Clark, who stayed home, changed the culture in Iowa, carried that whole program on her back, and dragged them to back-to-back NCAA title games. Paige didn't do that. She didn't flip the script at Minnesota. Nah, she went to UConn, surrounded herself with All-Americans, and it still took her until, age 28, to sniff a championship? Come on. And that whole intro to the piece, man, just feel-good fluff. All vibes, no substance. And Paige, I don't know, she gives me weird vibes sometimes. Like, she talks a lot, but in a way that just feels like she's constantly downplaying herself, almost apologizing for who she is. Like, girl, why? And don't even get me started on the way they spin every little thing into some deep cultural or political symbol. Like, yes, she made her fasting roommate breakfast during Ramadan. That's nice. That's friendship. But now we're turning it into a whole cultural saga. Chill. Anyway, this video isn't about that. I'm not trying to dive into that mess right now because that rabbit hole, it's full of firestorms. What I do want to talk about is this quote right here. This is the one. This is where it all really gets exposed. She's not as flashy, but she's as effective, he said. Because of her unselfishness and how she involves teammates, I think the transition will go more quickly for Paige than it did for Caitlin Clark. She's not as flashy. Whoop. She's not as flashy, but she's as effective. That's the quote. And then he says, because of her unselfishness and how she involves teammates, the transition will go more quickly for Paige than it did for Caitlin Clark. Okay. Wow. There's a lot packed into that little statement. Let's start with because of her unselfishness and how she involves teammates. Alright, Caitlin Clark led her entire conference in assists as a freshman. Then she led the nation in assists her sophomore year, her junior year, and her senior year. You want numbers? Caitlin almost doubled Paige Bueckers' assist totals. Maybe it was closer to 70% more, but you get the idea. It wasn't even close. Oh, and then she gets to the WNBA and what happens? She breaks the single-game assist record for a rookie. Then she goes into the All-Star game, not the rookie showcase, the actual All-Star game, and she ties the overall single-game assist record. And she would have broken it too, but you know what? She chose to stay on the bench because Eriko Gunbowl was going nuclear. That's unselfishness. And let's not forget, Caitlin Clark also set the single-season assist record for a rookie. Not by a little bit. She crushed it. 337 assists. Paige Bueckers, by comparison, what was it? 4.6 per game her senior year. So yeah, we'll get to that whole, her transition will be quicker point in a minute. But let's not twist the facts to push a narrative. Because if anyone's been unselfish and involving her teammates, it's been the woman dropping dimes like a point guard out of a video game, Caitlin Clark. But do y'all remember this? Because honestly, that quote right there, it kind of took me back. Like, it triggered a little memory. You remember our buddy Gino? Yeah, Gino Arima.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name.
Don't remember that? You don't remember that? Oh man, it hits even harder now. Even more amazing. We could sit here and talk about the 8 gazillion, billion records Caitlin Clark broke. We really could. Because, spoiler alert, she did. She stepped into the WNBA, and what did she do? Tore it up. And it was beautiful. I mean, could it have gone any better? Honestly, could it? No. But some of y'all were acting clueless, delusional, straight up dumb. And then this dude, he comes out and says, she's third or fourth in MVP odds. That just proves people are delusional. And what happens? She literally finishes fourth in MVP voting and lands first team All-WNBA. You couldn't have scripted it better. You literally couldn't. The only thing that would have made it more perfect is if he'd said, oh, and if anyone says she's going to be first team All-WNBA, they're insane. That would have been chef's kiss, man. Beautiful. But hey, go ahead. Keep doubting her. She's just gonna keep proving you wrong on repeat. Let's keep going. But yeah, I had to throw this in. Because this right here, this is wild. This is exactly what I'm talking about, folks. Like, this is where we're at now. Look at this. Someone posts a graphic, all serious. Paige Bueckers tonight. 45 points, 15 of 20 shooting, 16 assists, 15 rebounds. This demon is only a rookie. It's only up from here. Like, bro. What? First off, this was against some team I've literally never heard of, probably coached by a lunch lady and sponsored by a gas station. But more importantly, it was a lie. Completely made up. Totally fake. Just fantasy stat padding for clicks. And the best part, Twitter had to hit it with the reader's added context, label like, hey, just FYI, this is a complete fabrication. She actually had, 15 points, a couple boards, and a few assists. But y'all, 52,000 likes, 3.7 million views. People saw it, didn't even think about checking a box score, and just ran with it. Because if it sounds like it upstages Caitlin Clark, even if it's obviously fake, they're all in. That's how you know most of these people don't even watch the games. They don't care about Paige. They don't care about the W. They just want anything that makes it look like someone's passing Caitlin, and facts be damned. Imagine making up a stat line out of thin air and 50,000 people just eat it up like it's gospel. This is where we're at. Let's keep going. Now the other thing I want to pivot to real quick. Because this one keeps coming up, right? The transition will go more quickly for Paige than it did for Caitlin Clark. Okay, let's actually sit with that for a second. Because let me remind y'all what Caitlin Clark actually did. Not your weird made-up narratives, but real-life history. 22 games in, Caitlin became the fastest player in WNBA history, not rookie player, to hit 350-plus points and 150-plus assists. Faster than Sue Bird. Faster than anyone. And you know what? That wasn't even the first time she broke one of those pace records. There were stats 10 games in, 15 games in. I don't have the exact numbers memorized right now, but she was doing this consistently from Jump Street. By game 26, she'd already recorded a triple-double, the first rookie to do that since 2010. She'd already set the rookie single-season assist record, with games left to play. That number ended up at 337 assists. Are you kidding? We're talking major milestones. Early, across multiple categories. Scoring, playmaking, efficiency. And that's supposed to be a rough transition? So if that's what we're calling a slow start, now, I don't know what world y'all live in. I mean, if Paige somehow tops that, cool. Props to her. But let's not rewrite history just to fit this bizarre agenda some people have. Oh, and this one actually won as well. Yeah, just casually dropping another WNBA record. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in league history? Yeah, that belongs to Caitlin Clark now. Wrap it up. Oh, and most threes in a game by a rookie? Also Caitlin. She didn't just break the record, she buried it. From the parking lot. Fastest player in WNBA history to hit 300 points, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists. Yeah, also Caitlin. And this is something posted. We're still in June for this, folks. We're still in June. And we're still sitting here with people pretending this was some kind of bumpy rookie year. Like she didn't casually walk into the league and start rewriting the record books. You can hate all you want, but numbers don't lie. She's not just keeping up. She's already in the history books. But sure, tell me more about Paige's quicker transition. Caitlin Clark just became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 200 points, 75 rebounds, and 75 assists, doing it in only 15 games for the Indiana Fever. This milestone is not just a testament to her scoring, but also her all-around impact as a rookie, with 242 points, 93 assists, and 76 rebounds through those first 15 games. For context, she's also added 19 steals and 15 blocks, showing her versatility on both ends of the court. There's a persistent myth that Clark started slow in the WNBA, but the numbers prove otherwise. While the Fever's record was rough early on, largely due to a brutal schedule, Clark herself was producing at a historic pace. Her scoring, playmaking, and rebounding were all ahead of the curve for a rookie guard, especially when compared to the experienced guards selected for the 2024 U.S. Olympic team. As of June 16th, Clark's stats were clearly on par or better than many of the Olympic guards, even though she was left off the roster in favor of more veteran players. Now, as Paige Bueckers prepares to enter the league, expect the narrative to shift. The media will likely pivot from comparing Angel Reese to Clark to comparing Bueckers and Clark despite their different styles and contexts. Bueckers is known for her efficiency and defensive versatility, while Clark's game is built around scoring and her deep shooting range. Comparing their rookie seasons directly misses the unique strengths each brings to the league. It's also worth noting the online discourse around Clark. Viral moments and screenshots like the one from her big game with 52,000 likes often attract people who don't follow the league closely but are quick to criticize or stir up drama. Many of these critics aren't true fans of the WNBA. Their focus is more on hating Clark than supporting women's basketball. Bottom line, the idea that Caitlin Clark started slow is a myth. Her historic pace as a rookie is unmatched, and the conversation should reflect her actual performance, not just the team's record or social media narratives. Let's see how the season unfolds with new stars like Bueckers entering the mix, but don't let the noise drown out what Clark is actually accomplishing on the court.